Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Books and Betches, not to be confused with Books and...
Sports.
I was going to go, sports!
Sports.
I'm Kristen, and with me I have...
Sparica.
Maria.
Erica and Maria. This is a book podcast where we swear, we spoil, we talk about sex, and we suck at podcasting. This week we're doing a little topic. We're going to be talking about sports romances, which we've never talked about.
Crazy, because
I
don't really
them.
like sports romances.
Yeah, we've touched on the fact that we don't like sports romances. I think I have.
We.
Yeah,
We,
we.
I
as a
didn't know if
collective?
I like...
I think we've talked about it.
I don't know if I
maybe
like
in the
sport-
genre.
Well, I don't like romances, so maybe that's why we assume.
I don't know. what
Maybe
you're
we
trying to do
should
over
try another one.
Sports
there.
romance?
I say we should try one for the batch when we get back.
Okay. Sports romances have been brought up, but never totally discussed. And it's always been Erica saying that she hates sports romances. And then we get into this back and forth of like, but Erica, you play sports. Erica, you love sports. You watch baseball. You watch these things. Why do you hate sports romances?
I think it's just like, I think it partially is like, I think about stuff in the reality of the world sometimes, and like
you don't do that for everything.
I know, but that's what I'm saying is like some of it is like so far from reality that I can like disassociate.
Okay, fair.
And then sports romance to me is like too close to reality.
Okay.
But like, what about the stupid, cheeky romances where, you know, somebody owns an abandoned town and then this fucking thing happens? And
Like that's just so far off like the reality.
Is it?
I think it is. Like billionaire romances, like I don't know any billionaires either.
Okay, sports are
Like
just
I don't
like
know
it
any
hits too close to
I
home.
don't know any fucking cattle ranchers. I don't know anybody who fucking like you know what I mean?
So
like,
it hits too close to home for you.
It hits too close. I've slept with too many athletes. Like I don't know what to tell you. Like and they're all fucking assles. You know what I mean?
You've
Like
just had bad experience with athletes because I have not had that same experience.
I don't.
I dated so many baseball players and they were all like very nice and
decent.
Yeah.
Must be
See,
nice.
like I think I
Dated
I
one
don't- I
hockey
don't-
player and he was fine.
I'm not against baseball as much as I am the other sports.
Yeah.
I had a really bad scenario with like a hockey player.
My
And
first
our
boyfriend
hockey
was a hockey player.
hockey players in college were like predatory
Ugh.
and like
Yeah.
bad guys.
I think our college guys were like that too, actually.
like they were
I think
bad
college guys in general. Are very
No, my first
predatory.
boyfriend, so it was like my freshman, sophomore year, he was a hockey player of high school, so.
Our lax team was bad guy, and I say that with being friends with one of the lax guys.
Yeah.
Like they were bad guys.
I
Like,
mean,
I mean
yeah.
that in the most like horrifying ways.
I think you'll
Oh.
find that in every group, though, like, of just bad.
But I like you said, like I don't think the baseball guys at my college were that bad.
It's that fucking fratty
I don't think
bro.
the soccer guys
Yeah.
were like that terrible. Like,
Mhm.
but there were certain groups, and I have a harder time with certain sports.
Okay.
I think like I
Interesting.
really don't do well with hockey romances. I don't really love football romances that much because like football's not like a sexy sport to me.
But you like that book that I didn't like from Mariano Zapata, and he was a football player.
Yeah, but there was so not football.
do
in
you
that.
like shows that? Because, like, Friday Night Lights was one of my favorite shows back in the day,
Mm.
and they were fucking sexy.
Mm-mm.
Riggins, come on.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
you
he's
have
a
thing.
sexy actor, but he's not like a sexy.
When he's in
Person,
football
I don't know.
uniform,
I don't think football uniforms are hot.
I do.
I am so out of this. Like I don't give a fuck about
But
sports.
I think
I love
hockey
sports.
uniforms
I like
are
tennis.
hot.
I like tennis, but I never sit there and be like, God, he's so hot. You know,
Interesting.
like, I've never like looked doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really do that often either, but I did love, like, you know, when people wore the baseball uniform, like, back in...
Yeah.
Did you ever look into what
yeah.
I told you about those baseball uniforms recently that were see-through?
No.
You should have.
I should,
Good
yeah.
for you.
Interesting. Okay, how many sports romances have you read, would you say?
I'd say a dozen. At
Have
least.
you read any?
One.
What sports
One
romance
was
have you
too
read?
much. What's the name?
Wall of Winnipeg.
Wall of Winnipeg by Mariano Zapata. He was Canadian.
Was it a true sports romance?
Yeah, it's
I mean,
classified
yeah,
as a sports
it's-
romance. He's a football player who has his assistant who does everything for him, and she's just like, "I deserve better," and he's just like, "No, I want you to stay." But because he's Canadian, he needs her to like to marry her or something.
Actually, I might have read more. So it depends on how many you like quantify. So like, Kay Bromberg writes a great series with like drivers, like F1 drivers.
You've mentioned this series before.
F1 drivers are sexy as fuck.
I like car, like I know that's sports, but like cars are so far from my reality.
Okay. I'm
know
thinking,
what I mean?
I'm understanding this more now.
Like it's just
what about like jockeys? Water polo?
yeah, water polo would be hot.
Okay.
Like basketball players are not like
so you the main sports like the
Yeah, the
football,
main
basketball,
sports are just
hockey,
really-
baseball, you kind of want to stay away
even
from.
soccer.
Tennis?
The guys are kind of too skinny for me.
Tennis?
Tennis isn't really
It's
a
like too
sexy
posh.
sport.
Yeah.
I don't
The
know. there's
Challengers
just,
movie
like,
said, "Let me make you sexy."
I hated that movie.
I don't know. There's something about like sports romances that like I think about too, and I'm like, some of these guys are so fucking grimy and like cheat on their wives all the time, and like some of these athletes are fucking dirtbags.
Some people like sports,
especially football stars.
Yeah, sports romances have a chokehold on a lot of people.
I don't
At least in recent years, the hockey ones did.
Yeah, because of that girl that sexualized all the hockey players, and it turned into.
I don't know if she was the
That was
spearhead
a
of it.
big-
She was a big moment in it, but I
Yeah.
think they were happening on their own. They were having their own surgeons on their own.
For whatever reason, hockey romances, and it's like I don't know. I also don't love like some of the synopsises of it are like it's like a doctor on the team or like a photographer
I
on
always
the
feel like
team
it's a
or
fucking
like
assistant.
like an assistant, a coach, or like this.
Some
I
reporter
really
coming in.
I
like,
really there's a couple of tropes that I will not read, and one of them is coach like athlete.
Oh,
Yeah, you don't like the power dynamic thing.
Yeah,
It's
Well,
very uncomfortable.
since we are
and
right
student
now-
athlete, or
Yeah.
sorry, student and teacher.
coach. Yeah.
I've
Yes.
read a couple boxing ones.
I was gonna ask Kristen, would you read a boxing romance?
no.
Cool. Me neither.
I get what you're saying now. I'm too connected because I boxed, and I'm thinking about like the guys that I boxed with, and you're so right. Like I think I'm too.
It's a little too icky.
even base. I don't know because I do love baseball guys so much.
but you don't know them personally.
Yeah, I love baseball guys. Like I got such a thing for a baseball guy. So I think I would definitely read a baseball one.
I think I would be more open to reading a baseball book.
But you have me reading this
I
hockey
loved-
one.
I loved Summer Pitch. Remember that with Jessica Biel and
I love yes. And I love Fever Pitch. That's
So
one of my
okay, so
favorite-
this hockey one, like I
Okay.
liked it. I thought it was good.
Give the title for
Whatever.
the listeners.
Yeah, let's talk about this hockey one. So it's called Hard to Handle. It's an
By-
Enemies to Lovers. It's by
Kay Bromberg.
Bromberg.
So like I like Kay Bromberg books. So that's why I was like, okay, I'll try to read this hockey romance. I like her books. I think her
I'm
writing is
40%
good.
in.
Like if somebody can make me like a hockey romance,
It'll be
it's
her.
gonna be her.
Okay.
Dude, her
So-
writing is very good.
She's a very
I'll
good
give it
writer.
to ya.
She's a very good writer.
I'm actually really into this book.
My
think I
problem
would
now
be.
we got into like this very heated discussion.
Yes.
So part of
Was
this
I in the group
book,
chat for this, or was
Yes.
it side contact?
so
Okay.
part of this book was the guy, like a part of his problem is that like he's too in his head in hockey.
Oh, this
And
conversation. Here we go.
I felt as an athlete that there are certain sports that are more mental than physical. All sports you need a tremendous amount of mental capacity,
Emotional,
emotional. You need emotional, mental, physical. You need all three. And I'm not taking away that
Mhm.
from any sport, but there are certain sports that require much more mental capacity than other sports.
It's just wild that you think baseball requires more mental capacity than hockey.
It is like there and I can think of like a million scenarios of
It's just so
why.
funny because I played a softball I know you have too, but I played softball my whole life, and the amount of times I've been in the outfield during an entire game thinking like, oh, I just want a fucking cookie, or like I'm thinking of a joke that I'm gonna tell my teammate when I get back to
I
the
think
bench.
it's because
Like,
I
you
was
think-
I think it's because I was a catcher and you're
Of
involved in
course.
every single play and
different
like,
positions, but I feel like a
Fine.
lot of the things that you do as a catcher, most of the things you're doing is stuff that's like just comes natural to you. I'm not disagreeing with you that baseball isn't mental. I think that it absolutely is mental, but how could you say that hockey is not? That's
I'm
wild.
not, but I'm not saying it's not mental. I'm saying that it is a more physical sport than it is a mental sport.
I think it's both.
I'm not, but again,
Okay,
it's not
okay,
the
all
lack
right, all
of
right.
mental.
It doesn't matter.
It's not
In
the lack
book-
of mental capacity. So
Okay,
my
but
point is that like
yeah, it doesn't
for
matter.
field hockey, like again, I would play better when I was angrier because I could put all of my like
Speaking of
physical
Relate this to
energy.
the book. Relate this to
No,
the
speaking
book.
of anger, though, how does the mental capacity come into hockey? because of the fighting all the time.
That's what I'm saying. It's a very physical game. It's a very, very physical. It's more physical than, I mean, even boxing sometimes. It's like, it is
I
just
don't know
like.
if it's more physical than boxing.
So take me to the book though. Like what
so
about
the guy
it?
in the book,
Yeah.
he's like all fucked up about, I don't even fucking remember, his brother or whatever. And it's like, and he's got like all of it in his head about like how good he has to be and his dad and all this shit. And it's just like, it took me out of it because I was like, there's no way that you're constantly like fucking up this badly in like a mental capacity and it's translating like into your game all of the time. Like, I feel like if you were angry, like it would make you play in a different, like it just didn't, it to me, like as a person who played sports, I was like, I don't feel like this person who wrote this book played sports.
So I think that the reason you feel that way is because you disconnect from emotional people. Like we've talked about this. I think that you have a thing about emotional people. I have seen it millions of times of a pitcher getting in her own head.
But that's what I'm saying. That when the mental aspect of baseball, when I was fucked up, when I was angry,
any sport.
No, when I was I'm telling you, when I was angry in softball, I could not fucking hit. I couldn't throw. My fucking every part of my game was fucked up.
And I hear what
and
you're
we
saying.
talk about that all the time with like Judge and like all these players.
Yeah. No,
that, like,
I totally hear what you're saying.
It's a fucking thing.
You're using that energy to like take it out in a physical way in the hockey side of things, but don't you think that still leads to more fuck ups? Like if you're focused on the physical aspect, you're losing the mental aspect, which is just as bad, and you're losing parts of the plays and you are fucking up. Like that makes so much sense.
I just don't. It just did. It didn't resonate with me as somebody who played a sport that was very similar to hockey.
Interesting.
Again, like
it's wild though that that's
the field sports,
but it's
like,
wild that's what takes you out of like a book where you're just like, oh, he's too mad and he's making mistakes, so I don't.
No,
I think it just
and
relates to your emotional side where you don't like emotional people.
It ultimately made me like I'm too close to some of these sports where like I feel
That's
like
fair.
this person doesn't know what they're talking about, and then you lose credibility with me.
So you think like the author wouldn't know anything about ice hockey, so that like kind of
like it just kind of felt
which
like,
I totally can understand.
It didn't feel like an athlete was writing it, and then it took me out of the actual like. I don't know. I needed to be, if it's gonna be fucking sports, like give me the real.
Yeah, I could see that.
Okay.
No, I could definitely see that. If I was reading like a baseball book and it was like,
and it just wasn't
something
like
happened,
and it was
that,
like the player like situation, like, and you just like know about that. You're just like, well, that's not really
this person
how
has never played the sport in their life.
Yeah, it just feels.
I think that way about anything.
Inauthentic.
Like doctors or like any type of like profession. Like imagine us reading.
I think it's like the same with like nurses and doctors and like
imagine
medical
us reading
books.
an editor, like somebody who's an editor, and we're like, and they have never done our job ever,
and they say shit where you're like, this doesn't really like, this isn't my experience.
I could see that. I think that's a personal thing for sure, because I think most people,
so too.
I think most people reading these books have never played a sport in their life, and also I'm sure the whole side,
or at least not even at a high level for that to like make a.
I'm sure the whole business side of this, like if I gave this to Tim and he read it, he'd probably be like, "This isn't how hockey works." Like I guarantee you would say the same thing. Yeah, that's what I'm
saying. Like I think it's maybe I'm not explaining it right. Like I don't know, but like it just.
No, I get what you're saying.
It disconnects for me in that way, and like I think it's the same when it like Grey's Anatomy, right? Like
oh my
those
God.
like.
Did you ever watch doctors react to it? It's so funny.
Yeah, they're like, "This is fucking insane." And I think
I'm not a doctor, but I can't sit through Grey's Anatomy.
Yes, you can. You love that show.
I do it for you.
Why?
And how many times have I stopped it?
Yeah.
Why don't you ever read sports romances? Like,
I don't care about sports
at all.
Like the minute you start talking about sports, I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I don't care.
Hold up.
What?
I have a video of you watching the World Series with me, tearing
I cried
up
because
when
you
the
cried.
Cubs won.
I'm a sympathetic crier.
You were looking at me when you cried.
Very empathetic.
I did.
Oh, there's a video of you looking at the
bitch. I looked at you first.
Sports makes you feel shit.
I fucking lived it.
I hadn't
I
cried
know what
yet.
I'm talking about.
We could pull up the video.
Pull it up, baby.
You were sitting there invested in the game.
No. Listen. For
Sports
all of you,
do make you emotional.
Shut the fuck up. Now it's my turn.
Sports make people emotional.
Listen. It was
there's video evidence.
The days that Kristen had me sit in the same spot of the couch.
Right,
no, you cannot get up to pee.
Sports
you were sitting there yesterday. You can't move because if you move, you're gonna fuck up the juju.
And guess what? I was right.
And we what? Okay. Listen, I am only a Cubs fan, I do that with quotation marks, a Cubs fan
Yeah.
and a Giants fan for you.
But did you genuinely?
And literally,
Be so
I
for real.
saw you sit in front of the TV, get so
Okay, I
close to
believe
it
that.
as it's happening,
I believe
and
that.
you do this.
I believe that.
You did that. When I saw you do this,
Yeah.
I looked away so you wouldn't see me, and I'm just like, fuck, I'm crying because she's crying because she's so fucking happy the Cubs fucking won.
Okay, just be totally and brutally honest. Were
Yeah.
you into the game at all?
I was into it because you were making it fun. I'm not saying I don't like sports. I
But
like
you liked
watching
that though, right?
I can sit and watch football. I can sit and watch soccer. I can
No, but
sit
here's
and watch
why.
hockey.
Here's
but I'm
why.
not going to read it.
Here's why though. It was a high stakes game and it was the World
But
Series.
okay, if that's the
Everybody's
thing,
into
like
that.
write a book that like
Yes.
feels like
Yes.
capture. Like think about those like ESPN stories that they like do like the highlights for.
Erica, write
Like,
this book.
Write a book that captures the feeling of like that.
Ooh, good point.
You know what I mean? Like give
Yeah.
me.
Well, do you feel like because it's a sports romance, that kind of feeling has a second, like a back seat because the romance is put to the forefront?
But I look at Fever Pitch. That movie
Yeah,
had
like,
me in a
I don't
chokehold.
know.
That's a movie.
I know.
Not
and
a
it
book.
was
I
so
know.
good.
It's a different thing because you're being fed everything through editing, through music,
Right,
through
right, right,
that's
right.
you
I
can't
know
compare the two.
it is
True.
different.
True.
So like I've been crafting
Ooh.
which I've told you
Ooh.
this, a golf romance.
Oh,
And they're all-
golf. I forgot about this.
Since
Which-
when?
She told
for a
us all
long
about-
time.
Remember we
For,
were
this
like,
full
what?
year.
Golf?
I must have
But
blacked
the
out.
basis of the book is basically
this.
like this guy loses his competitive like spirit, and like he just doesn't want to do it anymore. He's like so bored with like the
Oh.
sport, and like just he has
Which
no
like it's golf, I understand.
he has no like
Boring.
competitive like drive in him anymore.
That's one sport I won't sit and watch.
Golf?
Golf.
Nobody will.
Fuck
See,
no.
like I like golf, but
Oh, I didn't know this about you.
She's an athlete. She likes all sports.
But
Golf's not a sport.
But the book is about like a girl that comes along and just like ignites a fire in him and
I
just
love
like is
that.
always like competitive about like even like drinking a beer or like
That's fun.
and it just like makes him like have fun with competition again, and it like reinvigorates him in that capacity. Cause I think about like why I like sports, and it's because I'm a really competitive person at my like core, and that like I love that like the feeling, and and like when I'm writing it, and I have like a shit ton of notes in my phone, I keep thinking back to that feeling of like what it feels like to compete and what it feels like to
Yeah.
win and what it feels like to like that momentum of like
Mhm.
am I gonna be able to get this done? Am I gonna
Love
be
that
able to
shit.
like and like I loved softball so much in those moments of like me and the pitcher. It's like that mental again, it's
Same
that
with
fucking
volleyball,
mental
man.
game of like it's me and this person, it's a 3-2 pitch and fucking
Mhm.
the game's on the line and like I can win this like you know what I mean? It's just that like crazy
Yes. Here's
and I
where
feel like sports books don't fucking encapsulate
you're
that.
saying that, and my first thought is Iron Prince.
Yeah.
Iron
like,
Prince
it's that
made it feel like a
feeling.
sport because it was.
Yep.
And that to me, I can sit there and read
Mhm.
this sport
Yeah.
and add a romance in
I
it.
have a question for you. Have you ever played golf?
Yeah.
You do? You have
Yeah.
played before? Do you feel confident in writing about that sport because you haven't played on like a competitive like professional level?
I feel like a little weary about it, and like I think I need to like talk to somebody who plays it like regularly for like some of the.
I was gonna ask if John play. He strikes me as a
No, he
golfer.
doesn't.
Really?
No,
No.
John does not give golf vibes
I
at
could
all.
see him like on a Sunday
I
drinking
will say
beers.
so. I went golfing for the
He
first.
does.
I've like obviously gone, whatever. But after this, I went for the first time one time. I think it was down in South Carolina, and fucking crushed it. Like absolutely fucking crushed it. Like
Of
I
course
did.
she did. She's good at everything.
And
is
the
fun.
guy behind us, they were like the people I was with were talking with the guys behind us, and they're like, "Who's that girl? Like, like she's fucking great." Like,
Mhm.
and they were like, the people that I was with, they were like, "It's her first time golfing," and they were like, "There's no fucking way."
Good
That's
hustle
so
them.
funny.
Like, it's just, I don't know. Like, I think that when you are an athlete, you can just pick stuff up.
Oh, for
sometimes.
sure.
So it's just like one of those things. But
Everyone has those things that they can just pick up easily.
Yeah.
I found golf to be a very mental sport, and it brought me back to softball where it's like you in the hole, and it's just It's your swing. It's your mechanics. It's your like. If you
The closest
fuck up,
thing
That's how I
like,
feel about tennis. Tennis
Yeah.
felt
It feels
very.
very-
Oh, that's a
That's
super
probably
mental.
why I really
Yeah.
enjoyed tennis, because it wasn't. I mean, the team aspect was there, obviously, because you still as a team try to. At least in my high school,
Mhm.
we were still trying to all get wins, but it was very like single
Very
minded
individual,
for me.
yeah.
I wasn't in a doubles team because it was me and my two best friends. We were a trio, and they got to play doubles and they got to have fun on their doubles thing. I was made singles, and my coach was like, "You're actually pretty good at this, so I'm gonna make you 3." So if you know how tennis works, where
Yeah.
like so there's 1, 2, and I was third singles, and I was like, I don't think I'm ready for that. I'm like, it's my first time, and it got so mental in my own head on days like that where I was like, I'm not feeling it.
Mhm.
It was a lot of like, I'm fucking up bad. There's
Yeah.
this one girl who beat
Yeah,
me so
it-
bad I
That's
cried.
how I felt in volleyball. I would like
Yeah,
fuck
again,
up,
that's the-
but that was such a fast sport. That's why I think of hockey as
Tennis
like
feels
a
slow to me.
mental.
Tennis
I
and
guess
golf
there's no
feel slow.
physical aggression, but like man, volleyball. If I miss like one serve or something, it would like ruin my whole
it
game.
just takes you out of the game.
Yeah.
But
Same
that's
with
what I'm
tennis.
saying. Like there's so and like golf super like mental. Like I
think, yeah,
don't.
most
I feel like I
sports.
would not be able to write a tennis romance because I know I don't even know how the scoring works in tennis.
Yeah, glove.
Like I couldn't
Kristen
even
likes to call
tell
it
you.
glove when it's love.
Yeah,
But
I love tennis.
But yeah, I've been
love
brewing
tennis.
this golf romance for a while, and like
I hope
my
you do
only
finish it.
my only concern is that like that it won't.
You don't want to come off as an author who doesn't know about like who's never played the
That-
sport that you know.
I'm not so much worried about that. I'm like worried.
I don't
that,
know
like,
shit about like
the-
birdie and like
It's gonna be different than most sports romances are in the sense
which is good.
that like
That's good.
it's based off of really like a specific thing of like somebody like losing that like competitive edge.
That's a different aspect.
That's
I
what
like.
we
It's like
need.
a-
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm like
That
I don't
kind of
know.
feels like
I hope
sports
you read
first,
it.
romance second.
I hope you.
Yeah, It almost feels like a little bit more like that. I'm kind of stuck at a certain point, but I'm like still trying to bring the normal drama of like the romance.
Of
where
course,
it's,
of
I
like,
hope you
course.
finish that.
Yeah,
Genuinely.
I'm trying to figure it out, but it's,
All right, give me your one book that you would actually recommend as a sports romance. Do you have any?
honestly, it's like Kay Bromberg. Like I said, the F1 ones.
Oh, that's right.
Kay
What was
Bromberg.
do you have
Is it
the-
called
an
Drive?
F1?
The Drive series. Yeah,
Drive
I would
series.
read. I would actually read that.
We should read it for the
I
pod.
know
'cause
somebody
I
who
would too.
loves
It's
F1. I should send it to
so
her.
Let's read it for the
dramatic.
pod.
Really
It's so much drama.
interesting.
Like it's fucked up shit.
okay,
Like
I'll
Again,
check it out.
the two
Let's
characters.
read it for the pod.
Is that Brom? Whatever.
Kay Bromberg?
Kay Bromberg.
Okay, I'll check that. out.
Fuck right.
Driven.
Driven.
Yes, I
Okay.
knew there was a drive in there.
Driven.
Ooh.
Throttle.
Didn't it get turned into like a series on like that
Yeah.
Netflix thing?
Really
did.
good ratings.
It did.
I'll check it out.
Fuck.
I love
Where
weird
was
shit like
Throttle?
this. I think it's so fascinating.
I don't remember the other one.
When I was in high school, I really wanted to write like this. I think I have a binder of it, of like a Red Sox fan who's at a bar at the end of a Yankees Red Sox game, and a Yankee player comes in, and like they fall in love, and I was like so invested in it, and I was like, oh, I'm writing like Fever Pitch.
You're writing West Side Story, but
Except
sports.
it's a player instead of a fan. But I think that would be cute.
yeah,
if like an actual like player fell in love with the opposite fan or something.
I feel like,
and, like
I've
the-
noticed too. Sports movies aren't my fave.
I fucking love them.
Oh, I love sports.
I think it depends on
movies.
how
I
the
love a good
sport's done.
redemption.
See, like I feel like sports movies, people who actually played.
Mm-hmm.
But again, like I hate sports writers. So like
yeah, you talked about this.
I've
before.
talked about this
I
before.
do too.
fucking
I
hate
agree with
sports
you.
writers.
and sports
I agree with
commentators,
you.
right?
I
Yeah.
hate sports commentators. I hate everybody who doesn't play the sport.
I
and
agree with you on
talks
that.
How do you
about
feel
it.
about commentators that used to be athletes?
I love it.
All right, sports romances. I mean, we
Again,
said
like
everything.
I would entertain. Oh, I loved Fangirl by Tessa Bailey. That was a
That's a
golf,
golf
one.
one.
Bailey. What's that one? Golf.
Golf.
It's a golf one.
I can't believe
It's-
there's so many golf romances.
he like it's a little it's weird.
Fangirl.
It's a little weird.
Isn't she like?
She's a fangirl.
Yeah. Oh, nah, title. Nah.
It's a little weird, but it's fun and it's like quirky
I
and
feel like
stuff.
Tessa Bailey's gone down this avenue of
She's-
just weird.
She's
having
written
fun.
some weird
She's having
shit.
fun.
Hey, that's all that matters.
She
I
got
like when
those. She got
people
those
have
books
fun.
to pop off.
If you have like a book that like a sports romance that you're like you guys really should read, you should message us.
Yeah,
'Cause I'm open
yeah.
to like trying more. I find them to be all the same.
Mm.
But again, you read a lot of books.
I want to know if there's one that somebody read and they were like, "Wow, this is spot on, exactly how like the sport is." And I want you to send it to us. 'cause
Like
I'm curious.
Corey is very critical of some of the hockey romance because it like feels like same thing where it's like it's not really about the hockey,
Mm,
and it's like
yeah.
you lose that. I
Because
don't
those
know.
girls don't know anything about hockey. They just go and watch guys hump the ice, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Yes,
And
this
fight.
is hot."
Or it's like the drama is outside of the hockey rink, or like you
Right.
know what I mean. Like
it's
it's
like
not.
the sports used as a far backdrop, as like a quirk for the character, not to truly make them any more in depth.
Right.
Yeah, and again, like I circle back to like I just think of some of these guys being fucking douchebags too.
And on that note,
Yeah.
if you want us to hit us up on Instagram, just look up books_n_Betches, BETCHES, and subscribe to us on
Yutta!
Nice. I love that. Thank you so much for being here. I hope everybody has a great rest of your night or weekend or morning. Thank you so much for being here. We'll catch you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Or next time.